So let's go back to the book. The book is We Were Soldiers Once and Young by General Hal Moore and Joe Galloway. And like I said, there wasn't much resistance expected. And here's what it says in the book. The word among Bob McDade's troopers was that it was going to be a walk in the sun. A stroll over to another landing zone where the helicopters would come in and extract them. The first leg of the journey home to An-K base. The word was wrong. And these guys, even though there hadn't been much fighting going on, they were actually a little bit tired because they had been awake on the ground. So here we go. Just before Alpha Company 2nd Battalion moved out, its commander, Captain Joel Sagdinis, put out an unusual order. His executive officer, Lieutenant Larry Gwynn, who we're going to hear a lot from, Lieutenant Larry Gwynn remembers it well. The company had been on 100% alert for over 52 hours. We were in such a state of exhaustion that Captain Sagdinis directed that each man take 2 APC tablets, aspirin with caffeine, a move designed to increase the mental alertness of the troops. So there you go. Take a little caffeine, little aspirin, get your heads in the game because they've been awake for a long time. And again, they're not expecting much, but they've still been on the ground in a hot LZ for a while. Back to the book. Lieutenant Alley, the battalion's communication officer, was with headquarters company. We were told that this would be a tactical move. There was a lot of stuff on the battlefield, equipment, supplies, captured stuff that had to be policed up and blown up, all in a hurry-up situation. I was personally carrying an RC-292 antenna in addition to my regular combat load. I weighed about 140 pounds. My normal combat load was 40 or 50 pounds. The 292 antenna weighed 60 pounds. The temperature must have been 96 and the humidity was the same. We were moving as fast as we could through the elephant grass and scrub oaks, some high canopy. We were humping. Everyone was as tired as could be. So we're already in a rough situation. We've been on the ground for 52 hours, and we're going to move 2.5 miles. Doesn't sound very far, but when you're carrying... So he's carrying 100 pounds. His 40, 50-pound combat load plus his antenna, and everyone else is carrying all kinds of extra stuff that they're pulling off the LZ. It's 96 degrees out, 96% humidity, and walking through the jungle is never easy. It's up and down little terrain features. Going through various... foliage is hard. Yeah. So this is not easy.
Not the biggest guy too, by the way.
Yeah, 140, 150 pounds, which guys were smaller back then.
Yeah, but still
than they are now.
More pounds.
Yeah, no, 100 pounds. That's no joke. That's no joke. Back to the book. Lieutenant Gary Gwynn of Alpha Company says the jungle around us got heavier and heavier. That's when things got a little scary. There was a sudden absence of any air cover. The guys were silent, and I wondered where our helos and our aerial rocket artillery ships were. We had not changed formation tactically, but physically we had to move in much tighter to maintain visual contact because of the undergrowth. The terrain forced our flankers in. So at this point, they'd had a bunch of air cover. They don't have any air cover right now, and now the terrain is making them get closer and closer together because... if you and I are on patrol, I want to keep you in visual range. I want to be able to see you. And so if all of a sudden there's elephant grass, well, the only way to keep visual of you is for you to get close to me and for me to get close to the next guy. And so everyone starts to compress. And he's talking about the flankers being out there. A lot of times when we patrol in formation, you'll put people out on the flanks within visual range, but they'll be stretching the visual range, but they're out there to make sure that there's no one sneaking up on you. And so it's getting dense now to the point where they can't keep their flankers out. So now you're losing some of that flank security.